Good morning everyone, my name is Dipendra and I welcome you all on the behalf of Creative Edge. In this video, in its NIFT marathon video, we shall be talking about the topic number system. Well, as far as this NIFT entrance examination is considered, your exam is basically divided into two parts. One is GAT, General Aptitude Test, and second is CAT, which is Creative Aptitude or Ability Test. As far as GAT is considered, again, it has been bifurcated into several segments such as English, GK, and Aptitude, of course. And as far as Aptitude is considered, it again is bifurcated into two subsegments, which are Quantitative Aptitude and Verbal Reasoning. Well, again, if I talk about quantitative aptitude, majorly the questions which are asked from the topics, they clearly are number system, ratios and proportions, percentages, averages, speed, time and distance, work-in time, etc. And if I talk about verbal reasoning or logical reasoning, the questions are majorly from, topics such as blood relations, directions, arrangements, sequence and series, puzzles. So these kind of questions which are asked from the topic verbal reasoning or logical reasoning. Again, if you look at the various trends or past year's trends, you will realize that NIFT is basically asking at least 4 to 5 questions from the topic numbers. So be very careful, be very attentive in this lecture, because almost 4 to 5 questions are going to be asked from what we'll be discussing in this topic or in today's live lecture. So let's get started, everyone. Look at the screen. This question is pretty simple. I hope I'm clearly audible to all the participants. So if you're watching it right now and if I'm not audible to anyone, feel free to respond. I hope you all can see this question right there on the screen. This question, before solving this question, I'd just like to tell you that such questions, whenever is going to be asked in NIFT examination, all you need to understand or realize is that we are asked to figure out the last digit of the number obtained by multiplying these numbers. Please understand, whenever last digit is considered or the last digit is asked, all you need to do is look at the last digits of all these numbers and just take the product of these last digits. When you are taking the product of these last digits, and whatever is the unit digit of these last digits product is going to be the answer. What do I mean by that? That's a pretty simple calculation which you are supposed to perform. For example, if you look at this 8 and 9, 8 into 9 is clearly 72. However, when you multiply 8 and 9, the unit digit again which you are going is 2, because you will not consider the whole number 72. Again, keep performing these operations on the unit digit basically. So when you multiply this 8 and 9, the product is going to be 72 and the unit digit is going to be 2. Well, that unit digit, you multiply this 4 with this 7, and 7 into 2 is clearly 14, but again you will be considering the unit digit. So by multiplying 7 and 2, the unit digit which you get is 4. Again, the next thing which you are supposed to do is multiply this 4 with this another unit digit which is 6. So 4 into 6 is 24. However, again we'll be considering the unit digit which is going to be 24 ka unit digit is 4. Again, the unit digit which you have gotten is 4. 4 into 5 is clearly 20 and 20 ka unit digit is 0. Now, let me tell you a very interesting thing here, that once you have gotten the unit digit as 0, you are clearly always, no matter how further you keep multiplying these digits, you'll keep getting 0 as the unit digit, because now you have gotten the unit digit as 0. So the whole point remains same, that whenever you have a 5 and an even number, always remember, along with a 5, when you multiply it with an even number, you will always get a 0. I hope you know 5 ki table mein you will get either a 0 or a 5. So whenever 5 is multiplied with an odd number, you will get a 5, and whenever you multiply 5 with an even number, you'll get a 0. And since clearly here multiplying 5 with an even number, I hope you need not look at multiple things. Had you noticed few minute details, you are clearly seeing that I have gotten at least one even number and I have gotten at least one 5. So whenever these two things, any one number along with a 5 is multiplied, you will get 0 as at the unit digit. So you need not multiply it further, and hence the answer to this question would be 0. The unit digit of this is going to be 0, which means option A is what you're supposed to mark. Proceeding further, if this particular concept or kind of questions or category of questions are clearly understood by you all, let's proceed towards the next question. If you haven't, let me just give you a brief revision or a brief review of what we have just discussed as far as this particular concept is considered. Always remember, whenever you're given or asked the unit digit in a product of certain numbers, you keep multiplying the unit digits of all those numbers, and whatever unit digit you keep getting, you keep multiplying those unit digits with the other numbers unit digits. So finally, the product of all these unit digits is the number which you should be getting as the final unit digit as the product of all these numbers. If you still haven't understood it, let me just give you another brief example through which you'll be able to understand it in a more clearer format. See, if I'm given a number, for example, 243, and there is another number 796, and there is another number, let's say, is 898. Now, what if you are asked to figure out the unit digit of this product? Now, how do you figure that out? Simply take the product of all these unit digits. So 3, 6, and 8 are to be multiplied, and don't take the complete product. Just take the product of the unit digits. So just keep considering the unit digit and you will get the answer. What do I mean by that? Please understand, this 3 and 6 clearly makes an 8. Why am I saying that? 3 into 6 is 18, and the unit digit of 18 is 8. So you consider just this 8. Rest, all the digits should be ignored or neglected. Well, after getting this 8 as the unit digit of the product of 3 and 6, now you multiply this 8 with the another unit digit. So 8 into 8 is clearly 64. However, I will be considering again the unit digit, which is going to be 4. This is how you're supposed to figure out the correct answers to this question. I hope this particular category of questions are clearly understood by all the participants. With that, let's proceed further. Let's try few more category or the different categories of questions and get more clarity. Now, this is again a very interesting category of questions in which you'll realize that questions based on number theory can be asked in different format or different manner. What are we given in this question? That the sum of the digits of a 2-digit number is 10. Well then, when the digits are reversed, the number decreased by 54. So when the numbers are basically reversed, when the digits are reversed, basically, the original number gets now whatever number you have gotten gets decreased by 54 when compared with the original number. So finally, we are asked the changed number, the reversed number, or the updated number. How do you do that? Always remember, whenever you are asked to figure out or create a number on the basis of given digits, all you do is consider those digits. For example, let me first of all explain something different to you, then we'll come back to this question. For example, if I were to write 34 in a different notion or in a different manner, which you might have learnt in 4th standard of your school, 34 we used to write as 4 plus 3 into 10. I hope you are understanding or getting what I'm trying to convey. Had it been 786, if I were given a number, for example 786, what would I do? I could have written it like this, that I'll keep the unit digit 6 as it is. Well, 8 comes at the 10th digit, so I could have written this 8 into 10 to form the original number 786, and 7 comes at the 100th place, so I would have written it as 7 into 100, and that's how I could have or I would be able to form the original number. That's exactly what I'm trying to convey here, that the same number, the 2-digit number which we are given, as we clearly are supposed to figure out the reverse of that number, we can consider the unit digit and the 10th digit of that number as B and A. Why am I doing that? Please understand. Let's say I compare that the number is AB. Now, if I'm given the number as AB, it means that the unit digit of the number is B and the 10th digit of the number is A. So if you were to write it in a different format, you could have written it like this, that it is nothing but 10 into A. The digits are A and B. Please understand, I'm not writing it algebraically that it is a product of two numbers A and B. No, I'm not writing it like that. All I'm trying to tell you is that the two digits it is having are A and B. And when the number is completely formed, mathematically, it should be written 10 into A plus B. I hope you're getting why am I doing that or how are we doing that. Well, continuing further, and you proceed it, I hope I need not tell you, when the number is reversed, the number AB becomes BA, and now BA would be written simply like 10 times of B plus A. So this is your reversed number. I hope that particular part is understood by all the online students. Well, after this, when you look further, what are we asked? The sum of the digits of a two numbers is 10. So can I form an equation that the one of the digits was a, another digit was b? Shall I say the sum of these two digits should be nothing but a plus b, and that we all are given is clearly 10. Continuing further, the next thing we are told is that when the digits are reversed, so when the digits are reversed, the new number gets decreased by 54, which means the original number was 10a plus b, the new number is 10b plus a. I'm writing this 10b plus a in this manner. So a plus 10b, I hope I can write it like this as well. So this new number is, 54 less than the previous number. If I just subtract this new number from the previous or the original number, what am I going to get is 10a minus 10a plus b minus a plus 10b. So when you subtract a from 10a, all you get is 9a. When you subtract 10b from b, what you get is minus 9b. I hope you know these basics, that 10b being the larger number when subtracted results into a negative number. Continuing further, when you pay more attention to the details, this is what we are given as 54. I hope you all have read the language given in the question, that when the numbers or the digits are reversed, the number gets decreased by 54. So this 9a minus 9b is nothing but 54. If you were to simplify this further, how will you do it? I hope you can see that this 9 can be taken common, और जब आप इस 9 को common लेंगे, so this is going to be 54 is equals to 9 times a minus b. Well, when you divide this left hand side wala 54 by this right hand side wala 9, 9 ka clearly 6 times is 54. So shall I say a minus b is nothing but 6? I hope this much part or these two equations are clearly understood by all the participants, and more importantly, how did we create them? That particular thing is also clearly understood by everyone. So we have gotten two equations in a and b. A plus b is 10 and a minus b is 6, and they clearly are, can be treated like linear equations in two variables, and I hope you must have learned a technique or the technique to solve these kind of questions. So if I have a plus b as 10 and a minus b as 6, all I'm going to do is I'll be adding these two equations, and when you add these two equations, these b get cancelled by each other, and a when added with another a generates 2a, and on the right hand side 10 plus 6 makes it 16. With that, I hope you can see that 8, a clearly becomes 8. वेल प्रोसीडिंग फर्दर, अगर आप बहुत ध्यान से देखें तो इतनी इन्फॉर्मेशन या इतने नॉलेज के बेसिस पर भी यू कैन मार्क द करेक्ट आंसर. हाउ डू यू डू दैट? प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस a was the unit digit in the original number, right? Well, let's proceed further. थोड़ा सा ध्यान से देखेंगे. Find the changed number, right? Sorry, in the original number a was the 10th digit. So in the reverse number, shall I say a should be the unit digit and a should be the unit digit, or in a better language, 8 should be the unit digit, and 8 as a unit digit we are given in only one option, which is option A. Hence you should be marking option A as the correct choice. However, if you still haven't understood कि ये 28 कैसे आ रहा है, you can figure out the value of B as well, because what you have here is आपके पास A minus B का value है, and when you put this B का value here, please understand, जब आप B का value यहाँ रख देंगे, so B मतलब -8 जब 6 के साथ राइट हैंड साइड पर जाकर ऐड होगा तो इट विल क्रिएट 14. वेल 14 कैन नॉट बी द डिजिट, क्योंकि ये सिंगल डिजिट्स हैं, ये नंबर्स नहीं हैं. वेल अगर आप वही B का वैल्यू या रादर A का वैल्यू, रियली सॉरी, आप A का वैल्यू यहाँ रखेंगे. सिमिलरली अगर आप A का वैल्यू 8 यहाँ रखते हैं तो 8 जब राइट हैंड साइड पर जाएगा तो 10 minus 8 makes it 2. तो B का वैल्यू यहाँ से बाय सब्स्टिट्यूटिंग the value of A you can figure out is going to be 2, and the reverse number is going to be 28. I hope this particular category of questions are clearly understood by all the participants. More importantly, you should always remember that whenever 2-digit or 3-digit number are asked, how do you create, the proper number basis or based on the digits given to you. I hope that technique has clearly been understood and learnt by all the participants. If anyone is not able to understand anything, I request the participants to keep it posted in the chat box. We'll be glad in answering or clarifying those doubts. With that, if I proceed further, this is also a very interesting question that, see this, if you are asked a question where you are given a number and you are told that this particular number is divisible by a certain number and you are asked certain values, how do you figure that out? Please understand, before figuring out the answer to this question or before discussing this particular question, let's learn few nuances or intricacies of division. I hope you understand divisibility is a very basic concept which you again must have learnt in your childhood. But again, for the sake of revising things, let's quickly go through everything. I hope I did not tell this that whenever you wish to check whether a number is divisible by 2, all you need to do is check its digit is even or not. So if the number's unit digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, you say that the number is divisible by 2. Similarly, when you are asked to figure out whether the number is divisible by 3 or not, all you do is you check the sum of the digits of the given number is divisible by 3 or not. But instead of doing or solving it in this manner, can we have a better approach? Yes, we can do it in a little different manner. Although that method is clearly an extension of the same technique which you have been using, still what you can do is, see, let's say if I'm given a number 2, 3, 1, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4, 8. And what if I'm asked to figure out whether this number is divisible by 3 or not? I'm asking you to do is that look for the multiples of 3. If the numbers are clearly visible as multiple of 3, reject them, eliminate them, neglect them. Don't add them. And second, if you are seeing 2 or 3 digits which are contributing or creating another multiple of 3, again reject them. Don't even consider them. What do I mean by that? Look at the screen, everyone. If I am having this 3 here, I am simply rejecting this, neglecting this. So 3 being a multiple of 3 is being neglected. I hope the same another multiple of 3 I am seeing as 9. Another multiple of 3 is clearly visible as 6. So these were the few multiples of 3 which were evidently visible to us. Apart from that, few more multiples in the addition form can be figured out. For example, this 2 plus 1 contributes to another multiple of 3. This 4 plus 2 will make another multiple of 3. Now, what am I left with? I am clearly left with 8 plus 8, which is clearly 16. And 16 when divided by 3, I hope we all know, is not a multiple of 3 because 15 is the multiple of 3. Well, with that, one more thing you can conclude that when this number, the given number or the original number, the complete number, when divided by 3 will give you a remainder 1. Why am I saying that? Because this number finally, जो digits हमें बचे हुए थे 8 and 8, when you add them up and when you divide that sum by 3, the sum turned out to be 16, and that sum when divided by 3 generates 3 ka 5 times 15, and the remainder happened to be 1. And that's why we are saying that when this complete number was divided by 3, the remainder is going to be 1. So this not only helps you in figuring out the divisibility, whether the number is divisible by 3 or not, but also you can figure out that whether or what remainder are you going to get when the complete number is divided by 3. I hope that particular approach is clearly understood by everyone. Well, there is one more rule, or rather there are different rules or different rules for different numbers. For example, had you been asked to figure out whether a given number is divisible by 4 or not, so how do you do that? You simply check the last 2 digits of the number. What do I mean by that? For example, whatever number you are given, again, look at this again the same number, 2, 3, 1, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4, 8. So for example, this number we are given and we are supposed to figure out that whether this number is divisible by 4 or not. All you need to do is divide the last 2 digits of the number and check whether they are divisible by 4 or not. If the last 2 digits are divisible by 4, you can undoubtedly or unhesitatingly say that the complete number, again the complete whole number, will also be divisible by 4. See, if you are looking at the last 2 digits of this complete number, they clearly are 48, and 48 undoubtedly is divisible by 4. 4 ka 1 times is 4, 4 ka 2 times is 8, and hence we can claim or say that this complete number will also be divisible by 4. Well, the rule of finding the remainder also states or stands true in this scenario. For example, had it been 49 and you were asked that what would be the remainder when the complete number is divided by 4, you need not figure out by dividing the complete number by 4. All you can do is again divide the last 2 digits by 4 and figure out the remainder. वही remainder आपको पूरे number को divide करने पर भी मिलेगा. For example, 49 when divided by 4 gives you remainder 1. 4 का 1 times 1 मतलब 4, 4 का 2 times 8, and 9 में से 8 subtract किया तो remainder is going to be 1, which means ये पूरा number भी अगर 4 से divide किया जाता the remainder would have been 1. I hope these rules are making a lot of sense in your brain and you are able to understand these, very basic minute details which you all must have been aware of since your childhood. But they are clearly represented in a little different format, or I'm just trying to give you a different perspective of looking at these rules so that you can figure out the answers or questions in the given limited amount of time. I hope I need not tell what should be the rule of divisibility or rule for 5. 5 clearly is a number जिसके लिए divisible number तभी होगा, जैसा हमने क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 डिस्कस करते वक्त किया था कि नंबर या तो उस नंबर का यूनिट डिजिट या तो 0 हो या 5. So if a number you want to check whether it's divisible by 5 or not, you need to see whether the unit digit is 0 or 5 or not. So either 0 or 5 will do. I hope as far as 5's divisibility rule is considered, you all have made some sense out of it. So again, अगर मैं 6 का divisibility rule develop करना चाहूँ, I'll tell you this 6 का rule later in the later part of this video. Before this, again 7 के लिए there is a divisibility rule, but वो इतना complex है that I would recommend कि आप पूरे number को 7 से ही divide करके देख लें instead of actually checking it via rule, क्योंकि rule से divide करके मतलब rule से अगर आप check करेंगे so it will consume more time than actually dividing it by 7. So I would recommend that 7 का divisibility rule अननेसेसरीली दो बेसिक आइडियाज हैं उसको समझाने या याद नहीं रखने के. पहला ऑब्वियसली वो रूल बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, उसे याद रखना मुश्किल है. सेकंड, इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम ऑफ योर्स. इंस्टेड एक्चुअली आई वुड रिकमेंड कि आप उससे ज़्यादा कम वक्त में एक्चुअली आप 7 से डिवाइड करके देख लेंगे इंस्टेड ऑफ चेकिंग इट वाया द रूल बाय यूजिंग द रूल. As far as 8 is considered, I hope you remember we had developed a rule कि 2 की पावर 1 यानी 2 के लिए यूनिट डिजिट वाला रूल था. 2 की पावर 2 यानी जब आप 4 के लिए देख रहे थे, the rule was you were supposed to check the last 2 digits. So when 8 comes into picture, this is clearly 2 cube. 2 cube means you're going to check the last 3 digits whether they are divisible by 8 or not. So I repeat my statement, कभी भी मुझे चेक करना है कि कोई नंबर 8 से डिविजिबल है या नहीं, तो जैसे हम 4 के लिए चेक करते थे लास्ट के 2 डिजिट्स 4 से डिविजिबल है या नहीं, हम लास्ट के 3 डिजिट्स चेक करेंगे 8 से डिविजिबल है या नहीं. इफ द नंबर इज द लास्ट 3 digits are divisible by 8, the complete number will also be divisible by 8. I hope that much part is clearly understood by all the participants. Well, when you try to develop a rule for 9 का rule remains same as 3 का rule was. So 3 के लिए we had a rule that the sum of the digits should be divisible by 3. The same rule stands true for 9 as well, which means you will add all the digits of the number जैसे हमने 3 के लिए देखा था, and if they turn out to be a multiple of 9, you claim that the number is divisible by 9. What do I mean by that? For example, again, if I am given a number, let's see here, I am just explaining it in this space. I hope this part of screen is properly visible to you all. So here, when you look at this number which I'm going to write here, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 6, 8, 9 and 8, 7. So let's say this is a complete number which you are asked to check whether it is divisible by 9 or not. So what you'll simply do is, आप इसके सारे digits में पहले वो सारे digits figure out करेंगे which are clearly divisible by 9. Once you have figured out that all the digits which were multiple of 9 have been eliminated, you will look at the digits जिनका सम 9 का कोई मल्टीपल हो, आप उन्हें भी नेग्लेक्ट रिजेक्ट करेंगे, एंड देन फाइनली जो भी बच जाता है फाइनली फटाफट आप उसे भी सम करके ऐड करके देखेंगे कि वो 9 के मल्टीपल से कितना दूर है. अगर वो 9 का एक प्रॉपर मल्टीपल है तो वो डेफिनेटली नंबर 9 से डिविजिबल है, और नहीं है तो जितना भी पार्ट बच जा रहा है, जितना भी एक्स्ट्रा वो है, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द रिमाइंडर व्हेन द नंबर गिवन टू यू इज डिवाइडेड बाय 9. What do I mean by that? This question is a very simple technique. Please look at the screen, everyone. If I wish to check whether this number is divisible by 9 or not, see, this number was clearly divisible by 9. तो इसका एक digit ये 9 से divisible है. ऐसे ही 6 और 3 को अगर आप add करेंगे, so this is also divisible by 9. Well, continuing further, अगर आप थोड़ा और ध्यान से देखें, so मुझे और ज़्यादा numbers के sums अभी दिख नहीं रहे हैं. Rather, I'll simply add all the numbers. What do I mean by that? बहुत ध्यान से देखिए. 8 plus 7 is clearly 15, I believe, right? And 15 plus, I'm just looking for a digit जो 9 का multiple बन जाए, but एक काम करते हैं, let's do this. 15 plus 6 is clearly 21, and 21 plus 8 is 29. I hope I have considered all the digits. So अभी जो मुझे sum मिल रहा है बचे हुए digits का, that is turning out to be 29. और 29 को जब आप 9 से डिवाइड करेंगे, so obviously हम सब ये जानते हैं that 29 is not a multiple of 9, and hence this number, the complete given number, will not be divisible by 9. But still, if you were asked to figure out what would be the remainder when this complete number is divided by 9, you would say कि sir 29 को 9 से डिवाइड करके जो भी remainder आएगा, that is going to be the remainder. So 9 का I think 3 times is 27. So 27 29 से 2 steps या 2 numbers या 2 numbers कम है. Hence the remainder when this complete number is divided by 9 would be 2. Why am I claiming or saying that? क्योंकि 29 जो बचे हुए digits का sum है, 9 से डिवाइड करने पे रिमाइंडर 2 देता है, तो ये पूरा नंबर भी रिमाइंडर 2 देगा. I hope this much part is clearly understood by everyone, and I hope no one has faced any issues while understanding this much part of this video so far. Again, if you wish to develop a rule for 10, I hope I need not tell you कि 10 के लिए divisibility rule simple सा है that you look at the unit digit. और यूनिट डिजिट क्लियरली 0 होनी चाहिए. अगर यूनिट डिजिट उस नंबर की 0 है, दैट मीन्स वो नंबर 10 से डिविजिबल होगा. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, लेट्स डेवलप अ रूल फॉर 11. फिर हम 6 और कुछ कंपोजिट नंबर्स के डिविजिबिलिटी रूल डेवलप करेंगे को प्राइम नंबर्स की बातें कर. सो कमिंग बैक टुवर्ड्स अनदर डिस्कशन, लेट्स लुक एट the divisibility rule for 11. So how do you check whether the given number is divisible by 11 or not? It has a very simple technique. It has a very simple approach. All you need to do is, for example, again, let's look at the same number 2, 4, 3, 6, 8, 9, 8, 7. And if I were to evaluate कि ये जो given number है 11 से divisible है या नहीं, I'll explain this first of all through this illustration or example. Then I'll tell you, the technical definition, which is obviously not needed once you have understood it through the example. So you start from the unit digit and you keep adding the digits alternately. So alternate digits you keep picking and you keep adding. So first of all, always remember you begin from the unit digit. So when you started from 7, 7 plus 9 is clearly 16. 16 plus 6 is clearly 22. 22 plus 4 is 26. So I have added all the odd numbered digits. So the sum I have gotten was 22. Apart from that, when the remaining digits, when the even number पे जो placed digits है, when you add those digits, what do you get? 8 plus 8 is going to be 16. 16 plus 3 is going to be 19. And 19 plus 2 is 21. Unfortunately, what is happening here is that 22 minus 21 turns out to be 1. All you need to have here is that the subtraction or the difference which you get, आप alternate even placed digits का sum करिए, alternate odd placed digits का sum करिए, and you take the difference of those digits. You don't consider the sign whether it is negative or positive. If that difference turns out to be either 0 or any multiple of 11, you say or you claim that this given number would also be divisible by 11. I hope you're getting the whole idea or the basic concept behind checking whether the number is divisible by 11 or not. So all you need to do is take the difference of the sum of the alternate digits of the given number starting from the unit digit. And if that difference turns out to be either 0 or a multiple of 11, you claim that the complete given number will also be divisible by 11. Otherwise, this number will not be divisible by 11. So this is how you figure out whether the given number is divisible by 11 or not. Now, coming back to another discussion we were having, I hope you remember हमने 6 का divisibility rule discuss नहीं किया था. Can someone write it in the chat box? Okay, Niharika is saying it's not 22, it's 26. Okay, Niharika, thank you so much for suggesting me that. I think I might have made a mistake, but by the way, it's really nice that you have corrected it. I'm asking you all to write, this divisibility rule for 6 in the chat box. So if you can do it, I'm still waiting for your responses. Still, अगर आप उसे 26 से भी check करते हैं, I think it will remain still, unchanged. Why am I saying that? 7 plus 9 is 16. 16 plus 6 is 22. 22 plus 4 would be 26. I don't know why did I write it as 22. And then obviously the other sum should have been 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 3 would be 19. 19 plus 2 would be 21. So 21 or 26 का जो difference आएगा, that would be 5. And that still wasn't a... That's good, Namrata Khurana. Thank you so much for making that correction. Yes, it should be 26 instead of 22. Still, that, despite being 26, this number is still not divisible by 11 because this difference is clearly neither 0 nor a multiple of 11. Okay, so I was asking you about writing the divisibility rule for 6 in the chat box. Well, so far no one has written that. I am surprised. Well, let's try and develop it by ourselves. All I would suggest you to do is that whenever you see such composite numbers, now before beginning this discussion, let's discuss what are composite numbers, right? So whenever you're given, let's say the number, let's say, I hope you know how do you figure out numbers which are, yes, Prashita, that's brilliant. The number should be divisible by 2 as well as 3. So whenever you are asked to figure out whether a number is prime or not, I hope you understand what are prime numbers. So अगर मैं factors की definition से समझाने की कोशिश करूँ, factors are basically the number which or the numbers which can divide the given number. जैसे अगर मैं 6 की बात करूँ तो 6 के factors would be 1, 2, 3 and 6. What do I mean by that? 1, 2, 3 and 6 are called the factors of 6 because these numbers can divide the given number 6, right? Prime numbers or composite numbers में simple सा difference है that if any number has exactly and only 2 factors, then such numbers are called prime numbers. For example, if you look at 7, I hope you all know this, that 7 is clearly a prime because 7 के दो ही factors होते हैं 1 and 7. However, that's good, Gayatri, if the number is divisible by 2 and 3. Now that's exactly we are going to discuss, Prashita, Gayatri and everyone, that how or when do you claim or why are we claiming कि number अगर 2 and 3 से divisible है तो 6 से भी divisible है. और questions इतने आसान नहीं होंगे, questions थोड़े से tricky और tough होंगे और वो कैसे crack करने होंगे और वो rules कैसे develop करने होंगे इन composite numbers के, उसी का base we have been creating so far. So let's try and develop that. So if you have seen this 7, I hope I need not tell you that if you look at 1 clearly is not a prime number क्योंकि 1 के पास दो exact distinguished अलग-अलग different factors नहीं है. What do I mean by that? अगर आप 1 के factors देखें तो 1 has only one factor unfortunately which is 1. And that's why 1 is neither a prime number nor a composite number क्योंकि composite की तो very definition is this that it should have more than 2 factors, more than 2 different or distinct factors, and that's why we are saying कि 1 is neither composite nor prime. Now, जब आप बात करते हैं कि कोई नंबर कोई दो नंबर से या कोई दो से ज़्यादा नंबर से उनका पेयर को प्राइम है या नहीं, तब आप फिगर आउट करने की कोशिश करते हैं कि उनका HCF, उनका जो सबसे बड़ा कॉमन डिविजर है वो 1 के अलावा कुछ और है या नहीं. अगर वो 1 के अलावा कोई और नंबर है then such numbers का पेयर is not called co-prime. Now, को-प्राइम्स की अगर डेफिनेशन हम समझने की कोशिश करें तो सब लोग स्क्रीन पर देख के बहुत ध्यान से समझने की कोशिश करेंगे दैट लेट्स से इफ आई एम गिवन अ नंबर 24 and 25. I hope you can see these numbers 24 and 25. Now if I were to look at the factors of 24, let's do the prime factorization of 24. What do I mean by prime factorization? That I will be writing this 24 as the powers of the higher powers of its factors. So इसके products, इसके factors की higher powers के product के form में I'm expressing 24. So 24 can be 8 into 3, which is 3 into 2 cube or 2 cube into 3. Similarly, 25 can be written as 5 square. As you all can see, when you look at the prime factors of 24 and 25, I can see nothing common between them except 1. क्योंकि 2 and 3 यहाँ है, but यहाँ 25 के पास नहीं है. 25 has this 5, but 24 doesn't have any 5. So if I look at the common, numbers between 24 and 25, that is going to be 1. And when the HCF, the highest common factor, the highest common divisor, सबसे बड़ा divisor जो इन दोनों numbers के बीच common है वो 1 है. Which means 1 से बड़ा कोई भी ऐसा number नहीं है which can divide 24 and 25 simultaneously. And that's when you say that the given numbers are co-prime for each other. I hope you are able to understand why or what I am trying to convey through the definition of co-prime. However, why are we learning that? क्योंकि जब भी आपको composite numbers दिए जाएंगे ना, जो numbers यूनिक नंबर जैसे 1 या फिर कंपोजिट प्राइम नहीं होंगे, वो नंबर्स जो कंपोजिट होंगे, हम उन नंबर्स के लिए डिविजिबिलिटी रूल कैसे डेवलप करेंगे, हम उन्हें को प्राइम्स के थ्रू एक्सप्रेस करके डेवलप करेंगे. हम डिटेल में समझेंगे, बहुत ध्यान से सब लोग स्क्रीन पर देखिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मुझे 6 के लिए डिविजिबिलिटी रूल डेवलप करना है, ऑल आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज आई विल एक्सप्रेस 6 एज अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ 2 नंबर्स. However, while expressing 6 as a product of 2 numbers, I will ensure कि 6 को जिन दो नंबर्स के प्रोडक्ट के फॉर्म में लिखूंगा वो दोनों एक दूसरे के लिए को प्राइम होने चाहिए. 6 एक बहुत ही बेसिक सा नंबर है जिसमें ज़्यादा डिफिकल्टी डेवलप नहीं होगी. Rashmi Chaudhary is asking, could you please tell the important topics of maths and reasoning for BDES course? Rashmi, in the very beginning of this video, I had mentioned the details. If you start the video from the scratch or from the very beginning, you will watch all the topics mentioned clearly in the beginning. Well, again, if I express 6 as 2 into 3, I hope you all know that 2 and 3 both are co-prime for each other. क्योंकि 2 and 3 दोनों को जो नंबर हाईएस्ट नंबर डिवाइड कर सकता है, that is clearly 1, nothing else. तो अगर कोई भी नंबर, always remember, if any number is divisible by 2 as well as 3, the given number will be divisible by 6 as well. What do I mean by that? This rule is quite crucial from your exams perspective. For example, अगर आपको 24 की डिविजिबिलिटी चेक करनी है तो आपको ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप उस नंबर को 24 से डिवाइड करें. आप कोशिश करिए कि क्या आप 24 को दो को प्राइम नंबर्स के प्रोडक्ट के फॉर्म में लिख सकते हैं. वेल, 24 को लिखने के बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. जैसे 24 का वन ऑफ द वेज कुड बी दिस कि आप सोचें इसे 4 into 6 बट 4 और 6 के साथ एक प्रॉब्लम है कि 4 का और 6 का जो HCF होगा, जो कॉमन ग्रेटेस्ट डिविजर होगा, वो 2 होगा, क्योंकि 4 2 से भी डिविजिबल है और 6 भी 2 से डिविजिबल है. So instead of expressing 24 as 4 into 6, let's opt for another option. So can I express 24 as 3 into 8? I think that is more preferable, or that should be the only option you should have while checking or creating the divisibility rule for 24. What do I mean by that? कि अगर कोई भी नंबर गिवन 3 और 8 से डिविजिबल है तो वो अनडाउटेडली 24 से भी डिविजिबल होगा. And I hope I did not tell you this कि we have learnt the technique for 3 and 8. तो 3 और 8 का अगर डिविजिबिलिटी रूल पता है और आपको नंबर चेक करने के लिए दिया जा रहा है कि पता करिए वो 24 से डिविजिबल है या नहीं, ऑल यूल डू इज आप 3 और 8 से डिवाइड करके देखेंगे. अगर वो 3 एंड 8 दोनों से डिवाइड होता है, then you will be claiming that the given number will be divisible by 24 as well. Not just that, for example, अगर एग्जाम में एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि बताइए कि गिवन नंबर 33 से डिविजिबल है या नहीं, आई होप आप 33 का टेबल मत रीड करिए. व्हाट यू विल डू इज 33 को दो को प्राइम नंबर्स के फैक्टर्स प्रोडक्ट के फॉर्म में लिखिए. सो 33 आई थिंक आई कैन राइट इज 3 into 11. अब 3 into 11 लिखने का फायदा ये होगा कि 3 ऑब्वियसली 33 के लिए कोई और ऑप्शन हमारे पास था नहीं, बट अगर मैं 33 को देखूं तो इट इज 3 into 11. व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय दैट? 3 और 11 दोनों के बीच में देयर इज नो फैक्टर विच इज कॉमन. 3 और 11 दोनों का HCF हाईएस्ट कॉमन फैक्टर इज 1. तो 3 and 11 आर अ पेयर ऑफ को प्राइम नंबर्स और इन दोनों का प्रोडक्ट 33 होता है, विच मीन्स कभी भी अगर कोई भी नंबर 3 एज वेल एज 11 से डिविजिबल है तो वो अनडाउटेडली 33 से भी डिविजिबल होगा. I hope that particular part is clearly understood by all the participants. With that, I believe I have given you more or a lot of clarity on divisibility by certain numbers. So with that, let's try and solve the question we were supposed to discuss here. So I'm proceeding towards the question. If you want to solve it by yourself, I request you all to give it a try, but pause the video and give it a try. Otherwise, we shall be discussing it straight away. Now, the number is A381 and we are told that this number is divisible by 11. Now, if the number is divisible by 11, I hope you remember कि हमने सीखा है if a number is given as the number which is divisible by 11, इसके alternate digits के sum का difference should be either 0 or a multiple of 11. तो अगर हम ऐसा करने की कोशिश करें, so what will I get is 3 plus 1 is clearly 4. And I hope I need not tell you कि a एक डिजिट होगा, ये 0 नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि ये 4 डिजिट नंबर है. ऑब्वियसली आप नंबर को कभी ऐसे नहीं लिखते 0 4 3 2, ऐसा नंबर आप कभी एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते, राइट? सो a कैन नॉट बी 0, a नीड्स टू बी अ डिजिट, और ऑब्वियसली 0 से 9 तक ही कोई डिजिट्स होते हैं, और जब वो 8 के साथ ऐड होगा तो एक बड़ा नंबर जनरेट करेगा. तो कैन आई से a plus 8 4 से तो बड़ा ही होगा, 8 ऑब्वियसली बड़ा है तो a plus 8 तो बड़ा ही होगा. And when you take the difference, a plus 8 minus 4, I am just concerned about the difference, है ना? आप सिग्नेचर की चिंता मत करिए. anyway, अगर आप 4 में से a plus 8 को सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देते तो वो भी गलत नहीं होता. So what do I get as the difference? I get the difference as a plus 4, क्योंकि a plus 8 में से 4 सब्ट्रैक्ट किया तो a plus 4. Now our concern is कि ये 11 से डिविजिबल है, तो ये जो सम या ये जो डिफरेंस आया है सम का, Gayatri is saying 11 and 3 if divisible little then divisible by 33. That's brilliant, Gayatri. I'm really glad you have responded. Now, अगर मुझे कोई कहता है कि a plus 4 ये जो नंबर है ये 11 से डिविजिबल होना चाहिए, तो रूल है कि ये नंबर या तो 0 हो जाए या फिर 11 का कोई मल्टीपल हो जाए. बहुत ध्यान से सुनिए क्लास, जब आप a plus 4 को 0 के इक्वल रखेंगे यू विल गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ a as minus 4. आई होप मोस्ट ऑफ यू मस्ट हैव रियलाइज्ड a being a digit कैन नॉट टेक और ऑक्यूपाई अ नेगेटिव वैल्यू. इसकी वैल्यू 0 से 9 के बीच होनी चाहिए, और 0 भी नहीं हो सकती क्योंकि ये सबसे एक्सट्रीम लेफ्ट साइड वाली डिजिट है जो कि कभी 0 नहीं होता. अगेन अगर मैं a plus 4 को 11 के इक्वल रखता हूँ तो आई थिंक आई एम वेरी क्लोज टू द आंसर. a plus 4 को जब 11 के इक्वल रखा तो a का वैल्यू टर्न्स आउट टू बी 11 minus 4 which is 7, and hence your answer should be option C. So अगर a की जगह पर 7 होता है यानी नंबर होता 7381, then the number would have been divisible by 11. I hope this question is clearly understood by everyone and you are not confused with the explanation I have given to you. If still you are having any doubts or queries, feel free to ask. I'll re-explain. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट आई होप यू आर रियलाइजिंग हम a plus 4 को 22 के इक्वल नहीं रख सकते थे. अगर हम a plus 4 को 22 के इक्वल रखते हैं तो आई होप यू आर रियलाइजिंग द मिस्टेक वी वुड हैव कमिटेड अगेन वुड बी दिस कि a की वैल्यू 22 minus 4 यानी 18 आती, एंड a being a digit कैन नॉट ऑक्यूपाई अ 2 digit, कैन नॉट बी अ 2 digit नंबर. इसको एक सिंगल डिजिट नंबर ही होना पड़ेगा. सो द आंसर वुड बी ऑप्शन C. आई होप यू आर रियलाइजिंग व्हाई आर वी कंसिडरिंग ऑप्शन C as the correct choice. With that, लेट अस लुक एट अनदर क्वेश्चन एंड गेट मोर क्लैरिटी ये डिविजिबिलिटी रूल के क्वेश्चंस को लेकर, राइट? अगर आप बहुत ध्यान से देखें, सो यू विल सी दैट वी आर टोल्ड दैट 381a is divisible by 9, then find the value of the smallest natural number a. Give me a moment, everyone. So if this number is divisible by 9, find the value of the smallest natural number a. Now, I hope I need not tell you, the number is 381a, and as we have just learned कि अगर मुझे 9 से डिविजिबिलिटी चेक करनी है तो हम 9 के सारे मल्टीपल्स पहले रिजेक्ट नेग्लेक्ट अवॉइड कर देंगे. सो आई थिंक आई कैन सी 8 and 1. 8 plus 1 is 9, जो कि 9 का मल्टीपल है, तो इसे आपको कंसिडर करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. अब जो नंबर्स बच जा रहे हैं वो हैं a and 3, तो आप इनको ऐड करिए और अब ये जो नंबर है या तो 0 हो या 9 का मल्टीपल हो. अब आप लॉजिकली प्लीज इस बात को समझिए, ये 0 नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि इसको 0 बनाने के लिए आपको a की वैल्यू -3 देनी पड़ेगी, और a की वैल्यू -3 नहीं दी जा सकती क्योंकि a बीइंग अ डिजिट कैन नॉट ऑक्यूपाई और टेक अ नेगेटिव इंटीजर्स वैल्यू. a की वैल्यू 0 भी नहीं रख सकते, क्योंकि अगर 0 रखेंगे तो 3 + 0 विल नॉट बी अ नंबर और विल नॉट बी अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 9. सो अगर मैं थोड़ा सा आगे जाने की कोशिश करूँ तो शुड बी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 9. सो a + 3 को 9 अगर बनाना है तो a की वैल्यू डेफिनेटली 6 होनी चाहिए, और हमसे वही स्मॉलेस्ट पॉसिबल वैल्यू पूछी गई थी, एंड हेंस दैट्स व्हाई I would say कि a का value should be 6. My question here arises is this, that can a take some other values as well? Let's try and figure that out. अच्छा, 9 के बाद अगर a + 3 को 9 का कोई और मल्टीपल बनाना है, it would have been 18, क्योंकि 9 के टेबल में 9 के बाद जो अगला मल्टीपल आता है that is 18. तो अगली पॉसिबिलिटी होनी चाहिए थी कि a + 3 की वैल्यू 18 होनी थी, और जब आप क्लेम करते हैं दैट a + 3 शुड बी 18, यू से दैट a का वैल्यू 18 - 3 15 होना चाहिए. नाउ अगेन यू मस्ट हैव क्रैक्ड इट और नोटिस्ड दिस दैट a + 3, sorry, a cannot be 15 क्योंकि a being a digit cannot occupy a 2-digit number, cannot take a 2-digit number value, right? With that, I hope this D should be the correct choice. When you continue further, well, again, we are going to learn a technique कि हम HCF और LCM कैसे निकालते हैं. Well, my suggestion is LCM वो सबसे छोटा नंबर होता है जो गिवन नंबर से डिविजिबल होता है, और HCF वो सबसे बड़ा नंबर होता है जो गिवन नंबर्स को डिवाइड कर देता है. आई होप बहुत बेसिक सी बात मैंने कही है, अगर नहीं समझ आया आई ट्राई एंड गिव यू मोर क्लैरिटी. Before discussing this question, let's discuss something else so that you get more understanding, you develop more understanding of this particular concept. So look at the screen everyone, we are going to discuss this particular concept right now कि HCF and LCM निकाले कैसे जाते हैं. जैसे again मेरे पास एक नंबर था 24 and let's say we have another number, let's say 30. बहुत छोटे से दो सिंपल से नंबर नहीं है, let's take it as 30 ले लेते हैं. Now please understand, always learn कि आप वो बचपन वाली स्टैंडर्ड मेथड के बजाय, that's good Gayatri, I'm glad the correct answer is 6 and I'm very happy that you have answered this. Now if I were to evaluate the LCM and the HCF of 24 and 36, the approach remains quite simple. Again, this comes with a disclaimer that don't go with the childhood approach which you have learned in your school. So go with this new technique which I'm trying to teach you, although this might take some time for you to grasp or imbibe this new technique, but believe me, in a longer run you will realize that this has its own impact, this has its own advantages. So please try and learn that. You will be seeing that it has it will have drastic results in your actual exam. जब आपके questions कम वक्त में हो रहे होंगे इन टेक्निक से, you will realize that this is quite handy or useful. So what I'll do is I'll write 24 as a product of again इसके प्राइम फैक्टर्स की पावर्स में. सो 24 वी हैड जस्ट लर्न्ड इज 8 into 3, और 8 into 3 को आई कैन राइट एज 2 cube into 3 to the power 1. तो मैंने इसके प्राइम फैक्टर्स की पावर्स के प्रोडक्ट के फॉर्म में 24 को एक्सप्रेस किया है. ऐसे अगर मैं 30 को देखूँ तो 30 मेरे लिए होता है 5 into 6, बट 5 into 6 इन अ बेटर लैंग्वेज कैन बी रिटन एज 2 into 3 into 5. So I'm just writing it into the most atomic form from where it cannot be more, cannot be broken more further, क्योंकि अब इसे 2, 3, 5 के अलावा obviously 2, 3 and 5 are the prime numbers. अब इन्हें आप और कितना ब्रेक करेंगे, क्योंकि 2 will be 2, 2 cannot be nothing, 2 cannot be anything else, right? Now बहुत ध्यान से सुनिए क्लास. Whenever you wish to figure out कि आपको पता करना है कि 24 और 30 का LCM क्या है, so all you need to do is कि आप ध्यान से देखें कि 24 और 30 में what is the highest power of these prime factors you are seeing. I repeat, जैसे अगर आप 2 को नोटिस करें तो 2 की हाईएस्ट पावर आपको दोनों में क्या दिखाई देती है, you consider that 2 cube and 2 to the power 1. So 2's highest power was 3. अगेन जब आप 3 की हाईएस्ट पावर देखेंगे इट इज गोइंग टू बी 1। अगेन अगर आप 5 की हाईएस्ट पावर देखेंगे सो 5 की पावर यहाँ पर 0 था क्योंकि 5 था ही नहीं विच इज 1, और यहाँ पे 5 टू द पावर 1, तो अगर मैं 5 की हाईएस्ट पावर कंसिडर करूँ विच इज 5 टू द पावर 1। अगेन अगर आप इसे सिंप्लीफाई करके एक कंप्लीट नंबर बनाना चाहें तो 2 क्यूब इज 8, 8 into 5 is 40, 40 into 3 is 120. Now the significance of 120 is quite simple कि वो 120 सबसे छोटा possible number है which is divisible by 24 and 30 simultaneously. It is impossible to figure out a number smaller than 120 which would be simultaneously be divisible by 24 and 30 both. That's my point here. Well, when you wish to figure out the HCF, the number, or rather the largest possible, the greatest possible number, which can divide 24 and 30. Now this time, जब आप LCM ले रहे थे तो आपने highest powers consider की थी. HCF is just opposite of LCM. यानी आप HCF निकालते वक्त smallest powers consider करेंगे. What do I mean by that? आप दोनों expressions में 2 की lower power, the common minimum power देके 2 cube into the power 1, the common power is 2 to the power 1. दोनों तरफ आप 3 की मिनिमम पावर देखिए, 3 की पावर 1 was here, 3 की पावर 1 was here, so the common minimum power was 3 to the power 1. And similarly, most of you might commit this error कि आपको ये 5 to the power 0 नहीं दिखेगा, and you might end up writing another number which is 5 to the power 1. Whereas you need to realize कि यहाँ पे कोई 5 है ही नहीं, जब 5 नहीं है मतलब 5 की पावर 0 है, तो अगर आप 5 की मिनिमम पावर कंसिडर करना चाहें so it should be 5 to the power 0 instead of 5 to the power 1. And that's why 5 to the power 1 should not be considered, 5 to the power 0 should be written, or rather 5 should not be considered at all. That's my whole point of, making you understand that. So this is what you get, 2 to the power 1 into 3 to the power 1, which is 2 into 3, which is 6. Now, what is the relevance or significance of 6? 6 basically is a number, or rather the largest or greatest possible number, which can divide 24 and 30 simultaneously. And again, it is impossible to figure out a number greater than 6 which can divide 24 and 30 simultaneously. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here. So I hope you have understood कि हम LCM और HCF कैसे figure out करते हैं. तो अगर मुझे एक क्वेश्चन दिया गया था तो आप में मुझसे पूछा जा रहा था कि 5, 15 और 20 के LCM और HCF का रेशियो निकालिए. So क्वेश्चन बड़ा आसान सा है. 5 is clearly 5 for us. 15 should be 3 into 5 for us, and 20 is 4 into 5, which in a better language can be written as 2 square into 5. Now, if I look at the LCM, I hope I need not tell you what is going to be the LCM. LCM we have just learned कि LCM क्या होता है भाई. LCM is the highest powers of the factors. तो अगर मैं तीनों में, बहुत ध्यान सुनेंगे, अब 3 नंबर थे तो तीनों नंबर में मैं 2 की हाईएस्ट पावर देखता हूं तो 2 की हाईएस्ट पावर was 0 here, 2 की हाईएस्ट पावर was 0 here, but with 20 the highest power of 2 was 2 to the power 2. So 2 की जो हाईएस्ट पावर हम कंसीडर करेंगे LCM लिखते वक्त that should be to the power 2. Well, जब आप 3 की highest power देखेंगे, again I can see a 3 here, 3 to the power 1 is the bare minimum or the largest possible power I'm seeing here, so that should be 3 to the power 1. Along with that, I hope I can see 5 की जो highest power मुझे दिखाई दे रही है, I think I haven't committed any error, yes, so 5 की जो highest power होगी that should be 5 to the power 1. I hope this much part is very significantly understood by all the participants. Along with that, जब आप HCF निकालने की कोशिश करेंगे, बहुत क्लियर सा नंबर है जो मुझे दिख रहा है कि इसका HCF क्या होगा, बट अगर मैं हमारी स्टैंडर्ड टेक्निक को फॉलो करूँ, स्टैंडर्ड टेक्निक से कि आप इनकी मिनिमम पावर, इनकी लोएस्ट पावर देखेंगे. इट्स लाइक अगर आपने मैथ्स पढ़ा है, सेट थ्योरी थोड़ा बहुत आता है, तो इट्स लाइक यूनियन लेना इज लाइक एलसीएम, सबको एक साथ ले आना क्योंकि वो नंबर डिवाइड हो जाएगा, और इंटरसेक्शन ले लेना, सबका कॉमन पार्ट चुनना, वो हो जाएगा एचसीएफ क्योंकि वो कॉमन पार्ट सब में एग्जिस्ट करेगा, इसलिए वो सबको डिवाइड कर पाएगा. आई होप दिस लैंग्वेज इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल. So HCF is all about considering the minimum power, the lowest power, the common power. और अगर मैं 2 की lowest power देखो, so there is no 2 basically here. There is no 2 basically here. So 2 की power 0 should be considered. मतलब 2 को consider करने की जरूरत नहीं है. 3 की power के साथ भी same scenario. There is no 3 to the power here. There is 3 की power 1 here, but 3 की power 0 आ चुकी है, तो वापस 3 को लेना does not make any sense. But हाँ, जब आप 5 की power को देखेंगे, you will realize that 5 to the power 1 is something which is evidently quite common in all these three numbers, and hence HCF is going to be 5 or 5 to the power 1. Now, we were asked, that's brilliant Gayatri. Now, if I were to figure out the ratio between these two numbers, 5 to the power 1 gets cancelled by 5 to the power 1, and 4 into 3 becomes 12, which means option D needs to be marked. I hope you have gotten a lot of clarity कि HCF और LCM के क्वेश्चन से कैसे डील किया जाता है, इन्हें कैसे सॉल्व किया जाता है. With that, let's try and solve one more question. I hope you understand. जब आपको फ्रैक्शंस के एलसीएम और एचसीएफ निकालने को कहे जाएं, तो आप प्लीज ध्यान रखिए फ्रैक्शंस के एलसीएम और एचसीएफ थोड़े से अलग तरीके से निकाला जाता है। टेल यू एचसीएफ एज वेल एज एलसीएम। जैसे मान लीजिए यही तीन नंबर है, 5/2, 8/9, 11/14। तो जो भी न्यूमरेटर्स हैं आप उनका ले लीजिए एलसीएम, एलसीएम ऑफ ऑल दी न्यूमरेटर्स। और किस वक्त की बात कर रहा हूँ, जब आपको इन सारे फ्रैक्शंस का एलसीएम पूछा जा रहा है। एंड यू टेक दी एचसीएफ ऑफ ऑल द नंबर्स व्हिच आर गिवन इन द डिनोमिनेटर। सो अगर मैं सिंपल सी स्टैंडर्ड सी अप्रोच फॉलो करूँ, सो मुझे चाहिए 5, 8 और 11 का एलसीएम। सो आई नीड द एलसीएम ऑफ, I'm just writing it here. I need the LCM of 5, 8 and 11, and I need the HCF of the denominators which were 2, 9 and 14. I hope you are able to understand this. Well, इतना सब कुछ आपको एग्जाम में लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. This is all I am writing because I want to keep things organized और systematic कि आपके लिए समझना आसान हो. Otherwise, I hope this is quite understandable for you all. कंटिन्यूइंग फर्दर, 5, 8 एंड 11 क्लियरली तीनों को प्राइम मुझे दिखाई दे रहे हैं, क्योंकि 5 5 होता है, 8 2 क्यूब होता है और 11 11 टू द पावर 1 होता है. सो द एलसीएम इज गोइंग टू बी द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ 5, 8 एंड 11. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग दैट. सो एलसीएम इज गोइंग टू बी 5 टू द पावर 1. एक ही नंबर कॉमन है जो हम हाईएस्ट पावर लेते हैं एलसीएम के वक्त. 8 इज 8 यानी 2 क्यूब और 11 इज 11. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द एलसीएम, क्योंकि तीनों में कुछ भी कॉमन नहीं है, तो इतना पार्ट तीनों का लेना ही होगा. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, जब आप एचसीएफ की बात करें तो एचसीएफ में भी गड़बड़ ये हो रही है कि सर यहाँ तो 2 दिख रहा है बट यहाँ 3 दिख रहा है, मतलब यहाँ 2 नहीं दिख रहा है. 9 के साथ इट इज 3 स्क्वायर. 14 में 2 और 7 दोनों दिख रहे हैं, मतलब मुझे कुछ भी कॉमन नहीं दिख रहा है. वाई एम आई सेइंग दैट? क्योंकि ये तो सिर्फ 2 है, ये 3 स्क्वायर है, राइट. और 14 इज 2 इंटू 7. सो बेसिकली 2 अगर मैं कंसिडर करता तो यहाँ और यहाँ दिखता है बट यहाँ नहीं दिखता. 3 देता तो 2 जगह नहीं दिखता है, सिर्फ एक जगह दिखता है. और 7 के साथ भी सेम प्रॉब्लम है. सो देयर इज नथिंग कॉमन इन द डिनोमिनेटर एंड हेंस दिस शुड बी द एलसीएम ऑफ दीज 3 फ्रैक्शंस. अच्छा, सिमिलरली हैड आई बीन आस्क्ड कि इन तीनों फ्रैक्शंस का एचसीएफ निकालिए, उस केस में आप इसे कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं, लेट्स लर्न दैट एज वेल. सो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू ऑल टू लुक एट द स्क्रीन एवरीवन. वी शुड बी कंसिडरिंग हाउ टू फिगर आउट द एचसीएफ. एचसीएफ इज जस्ट इनवर्स प्रोसेस ऑफ एलसीएम जब फ्रैक्शंस की बात की जाती है. यानी मुझसे 5, 8 और 11 का मैं न्यूमरेटर में आई विल बी टेकिंग दी एचसीएफ नाउ. अगर मुझसे एलसीएम के बजाय हैड आई बीन आस्क्ड दी एचसीएफ ऑफ 5/2, 8/9 and 11/14, what will I do here? I'll evaluate. जब फ्रैक्शंस का एचसीएफ पूछा जाए तो आप न्यूमरेटर्स का एचसीएफ ले लीजिए, जैसे हमने एलसीएम के वक्त न्यूमरेटर का एलसीएम लिया था. जो भी पूछा जाए न्यूमरेटर में आप पहले वो ले लीजिए और उसका अपोजिट. ऑब्वियसली एलसीएम के लिए एचसीएफ और एचसीएफ के लिए एलसीएम, है ना. अपोजिट नहीं होते हैं, मतलब इट्स जस्ट अ पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड. So HCF should be HCF of 5, 8 and 11 I'm going to take, or denominator में I'll take the LCM of 2, 9 and 14. So this is how I'll figure out the answer. I hope बहुत आसान सा क्वेश्चन है. 5, 8 और 11 जैसे हमने शुरू में डिस्कस किया, तीनों को प्राइम थे, और अगर को प्राइम होते हैं, यस दैट्स गुड गायत्री, अगर नंबर्स को प्राइम होते हैं तो उनका HCF 1 होता है, क्योंकि वो किसी से भी एक्सेप्ट 1 डिविजिबल नहीं होते हैं. हेंस क्लियरली आपको दिख रहा होगा 5 is 5 to the power 1, 8 is 2 cube, 11 is 11 to the power 1. सो तीनों में कुछ भी कॉमन नहीं है. एंड इफ दे हैव नथिंग कॉमन बिटवीन अमंग देम, दैट मींस उनका HCF शुड बी 1. Apart from that, when you're considering LCM in a highest power, तो 2 to the power 1, 9 is 3 square and 14 is 2 to the power 1 into 7. So जब आप यहाँ consider करेंगे तो 2 की power 1 ले लेंगे, क्योंकि ये जो highest power है. Then you take 3 square and you take 7 to the power 1. So when you multiply them, I hope I can, or you can get the answer. It should be 2 to the power 1 into 3 square and 7. I hope you can take the product and get the answer. My whole idea was to just give you the clarity कि आप HCF और LCM कैसे निकालेंगे of the fraction numbers. One more very crucial property, NIFT and all these entrance exams, in whichever exam aptitude is asked, they are quite fond of this formula, and they keep using, keep asking applications which are based on this formula. Please remember, this formula holds true for only 2 numbers. So whenever you are given 2 numbers in the question, तो उन दोनों नंबर्स के प्रोडक्ट की वैल्यू इक्वल होती है उन दोनों नंबर्स के HCF और LCM के प्रोडक्ट के. हमेशा ट्रू होता है. पर हमेशा आप याद रखिए, दिस प्रॉपर्टी विल बी ट्रू ओनली व्हेन यू आर डीलिंग विद 2 numbers. आई रिपीट, फॉर 2 numbers only there is a property that the product of those 2 numbers will always be equal to the product of their HCF and LCM. Well, continuing further, थोड़ा और अगर हम क्वेश्चंस को एक्सप्लोर करें, so look at this category of questions, class. Well, to understand this category of questions, again, we'll have to go through a little bit of theory. So I am going to take you through that first, then we shall be addressing these questions. So stay there, everyone. But before before we discuss this particular concept, I'd like to, ask or suggest few things again to, improve your efficiency, to enhance your efficacy in the real examination. It's like Abraham Lincoln once had said that if you have 6 hours to cut down a tree, you should spend first 4 hours in sharpening your saw, which means there are certain tools and techniques which you should be aware of. And if you are aware of those techniques, you should invest some time in learning those tools and techniques, because if you have tools and techniques, your efficacy gets increased. And that's exactly smart work is all about, right? So if we learn few techniques, few basics, believe me, in a longer run, you are going to realize that your ability to solve questions will get increased, and the average time which you used to spend on each question will get decreased. And that's exactly what we are wanting through these classes or these marathon lectures. So let's say few things which I would recommend or suggest that you should be aware of. अगर ये हो जाता है तो निफ्ट आपकी एग्जाम बहुत आसानी से क्रैक होगी और बहुत आसानी से आप एप्टीट्यूड के क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व कर पाएंगे. What do I mean by that? Let's begin with the first thing first. Please try and learn the tables. Believe me, it is something which is very cliche, very outdated, but you cannot deny the significance of tables, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन सीक्वेंस इन सीरीज पर आएंगे जहां पर पैटर्न्स रिकॉग्नाइज करने होंगे. और अगर आपको टेबल्स, स्क्वायर्स, क्यूब्स पता होंगे, यू विल बी एबल टू क्रैक और वॉच और व्यू दोज पैटर्न्स. उन पैटर्न्स को रिकॉग्नाइज करने के लिए आपको इन नंबर्स पर किए गए ऑपरेशंस की नॉलेज या अवेयरनेस होना ज़रूरी है. सो टेबल्स ट्राई करिए. आई एज्यूम कि 11 तक की टेबल सभी को आती हैं, विच मीन्स आप कोशिश करिए दैट यू लर्न टेबल्स फ्रॉम 12 to 20. दैट इज गोइंग टू बी very advantageous for you as far as NIFT is considered. Apart from tables, you should try learning squares. Believe me, this has its own significance or relevance in your examination. So try and learn squares. They will help you quite a lot. So squares are basically all about, I hope you know, 2 square is 4, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, 3 square is 9, 7 square is 49. So I hope 11, 12 तक के square सभी को आते हैं. 13 square is 169. But कोशिश करिए that 12 square से लेकर 25 squares तक भी आपको ये सारे numbers mugged up, crammed या by heart किए हुए हों, so that whenever in the examination you need to perform some or certain calculation, you are able to solve these questions quite easily. Not just that, squares के अलावा you try and do this कि आप cubes याद करें. They are quite handy, they are very useful. So अगर आप cubes याद करके रखते हैं, for example 2 cube is 8, 9 cube is 729, such cubes are to be memorized by you. So when you learn these cubes, at least till 15 cube, you should be aware of the cubes. अगर ये तीनों चीज़ें भी पता हैं, believe me, you will be able to solve questions quite easily. With that, I believe today's timer doesn't allow us to proceed further much. So whatever data, whatever questions or whatever topics from this chapter number theory we are left with, we shall continue with them in the next lecture, and then we shall be beginning or starting with the next topic which we had decided for tomorrow. However, first of all, we'll complete the topic numbers, and then we'll discuss or begin the next topic. With that, I believe there are no further doubts, and I hope whatever we have discussed today everything is clearly understood by all the participants. So thank you so much. Take care, everyone.